What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Jammin with J Money from SportsbookReview.com. We back. It's another day, man. Hey, I can't lie. I'm pumped up today, man. After yesterday, it was a real good day, man. Looks been going my way lately, and hey, we what I'm saying. Today we only got 6 games we're gonna talk about, but hey, we still gonna try to find some cash, break down all of them, and try to find some winners, man. Like I said, yesterday was absolutely lovely, man. We hope you guys, what I'm saying, join in the chat. Hey, cash some tickets with us, man. How was your day yesterday, Jordan? Everything good with you?
Yeah, all good here, man. Down day yesterday for me, though. I was telling you before the show started, man. Tale of just 2 points for me yesterday. Missed the over in the first half with Washington, Detroit by 2 points. Missed it by 2 points in Portland and Utah. I had the under in that one. So just a couple of bad beats for me. It was really the story of my day last night. But yeah, this card today is a little tricky, though. I'm interested to see what you guys have to think about it too, because there's a couple of spots that look good that could be absolutely trap spots also. So I'm kind of very interested to see what you guys break down this Tuesday slate or this Friday slate. Excuse me. How you doing, Junior?
Not bad. I'm glad that there's some decent games to watch as opposed to yesterday. As far as I'm concerned, like I tuned into a couple of games for a few minutes. I ended up going to a leftovers party. One of my homies, he always has a party every 26th of just straight up leftovers. The shit was good. So I'm nice and full. Belly's ready to go for today. Ready to get some money, you know.
That's a great idea, by the way, a leftovers party.
Nah, I'm
It's
just
it's
letting
the
nah,
best,
my
bro.
guy Junior. Nah, he fun. Nah, I was just saying that was funny, man. That was funny because you dead serious, but I'm sure it was nice, man. Hey, sometimes some leftovers smack, man. Y'all know us. Hey, you better put this shit in the microwave real quick, maybe still a little few dabs of water or something, man. Hey, bring it back to life. So I'm all about that. I think that was just funny, man. Because Junior been talking about he been talking about this food for like 2-3 days. He's like, man, I'm finna eat. Hey, it's go time. It's my guy there, man. Both of my guys, and you ready to get to some money, man. Yesterday. Man, look, y'all was in the chat telling me I'm crazy with the Pistons, man. Pissed all on them boys with the Pistons. That was easy cash, man. I wish all of them could be like that. And like I say, lately I've been going with some shit. I told you it's like 3 straight days. I said nobody's gonna like it. But I didn't care, and I told you I was very confident. Man, Pistons smacked them boys up just like they supposed to. Oh, Bill went out late. No, is he gonna be out tomorrow? We'll see, man. They playing the Knicks again. And you know what's crazy? The craziest thing about this card, and I'm gonna go back to yesterday. A lot of these teams play back to back, except for OKC and Charlotte. I think everybody plays a back to back. They're on the first inning of a back to back. We'll get to that in a second. Pistons smashed them, minus 6.5. We cashed it with ease. The Knicks. I'm not gonna lie. I told y'all that was the only dog that I was liking yesterday. I did hop on a plus the 8, man. I didn't expect it to be that easy, but yeah, they did end up cashing. But I didn't say that it was anything official on the show, so no boasting brazen. The San Antonio, if you had for one, if you had the Mavs yesterday, I'm praying for you. I am. I watched the game. I didn't end up going to them. I had did some other stuff, man, making bets, all types. I'm too worried about it. I ended up missing the game, man. Me and my girl was like, oh, we forgot about the game. It's all good, man. I'm glad I didn't go because I would have been hot, especially if I would have took the Mavs. They had them on the money line parlay, but the Spurs in the game on a 13-0 run. I don't think I'd have seen much stuff like that, man. The Mavs just missing every single thing. They did every single thing to not cover the game. I'm like, what the hell going on? They still end up winning, but I can't believe that they was up 17 points, man. You know, 13. If you had the Spurs, go get your lottery ticket, man. I always say, go get your lottery
Hey, Jay
ticket.
Money,
The
can
Memphis.
I interrupt you 1 second, real quick,
Go ahead.
please?
Go ahead.
Did you get a chance to watch the Kings yesterday?
No, I didn't watch the Kings. I can't say I did watch a little bit of it when it was in the fourth quarter, but when they started going to double overtimes, I had went and took a shower, all type of stuff, man. I had flipped to the Jazz game. I got super lucky with the Jazz game. That was another one they pissed away a long lead, but no, I didn't watch the Kings, man. Did have the
The
under
reason I
though.
asked that question, they scored 11 points in the fourth quarter, and Marvin Bagley, he played 20 minutes yesterday. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Nah,
They
he got
lost.
hurt.
Just
That's one thing I
Yeah,
throwing
do
he
that
got
know.
out
hurt,
He
there.
got
and
hurt.
De'Aaron Fox got hurt
No,
last
look,
night. That game was
no,
awful.
Bagley got hurt and he didn't return to the game, so that was a
Oh,
huge
is
deal.
that
And
what
man,
happened?
and
Okay,
the
good.
Kings were
Yeah.
coming back. They had a lot of momentum as well. And like I said, with Fox going out. And Bagley, I mean, just it was insurmountable. The Timber, I mean, they did come to play yesterday. Don't get me wrong, but I think the Kings were finna come back and win that game. I mean, Bagley and Fox went out. They couldn't overcome that. They still almost did win the double overtime. Like I said, I hopped on the under in this spot. Obviously once I saw Cat was out, I didn't want to lay it with the Kings. They hadn't shown me enough, but I said, I'm gonna hop on this under. Went to double overtime and still cashed that under there, man. So like I say, man, I be waiting on these injury points, man. That was one that didn't come out until late, and that's one I didn't. I was like, no, I can't take the Kings in this one. I did have him in a little money line parlay though that ended up screwing me off, but it was all good on that. He's just personal plays. But yeah, the Mavs they end up pissing away, only winning by 4. Luka came back 24 points. Didn't look too. He looked a little rusty out there, but they ended up getting a dub. Really should have been a blowout, but spending too much time on yesterday, man. The Grizzlies ended up getting it done versus OKC. I was on Nell, I should have hopped on it. I know I mentioned the Grizzlies first half was probably a good play. They cashed that one on the money line and the +3. That was easy there. The Jazz, have to talk about the Jazz, man. They was smacking the Blazers. I had the Jazz -5, and I'm not gonna lie, that game absolutely ran me hot, bro. Ran me hot. You let them boys outscore you. It was like 26-7 in the fourth quarter. I'm talking about hot. It got down to a 1-point lead, man. The Jazz, man, they end up getting up. Thank you, Carmelo. I appreciate it, but I'm telling you, man, there's some of these games I don't have it to watch it, man. Like my nerves are way too bad. I had to go out there to the pay all type of stuff, man. So we end up cashing, but the final score don't matter. Some of these games is just I can't watch, man. I can't handle it. I just can't, man. So that's it about yesterday, man. We're gonna get into some cash today. Enough about yesterday. It was a nice day, man. But today, real tricky card, man. Real tricky card. I'm not gonna lie. Like I say, I think everybody have a back-to-back, first leg of a back-to-back, except for OKC in Charlotte. Obviously, OKC is their back-to-back. But we got Cleveland and Boston here in the first game. Boston has been smacked them up already 2 times this season. But one of them was a push. The other one was an absolute blowout. They get 14 points here. Still sneaky spot for the Celtics here in this game, in my opinion. Obviously, they're a much better team. You look at the Cavs, they've been playing a lot better lately. You look at rebound percentage, the last 5 games, the Cavs are number 2, Celtics number 1, Cavs number 2, defensive rebound percentage. The Cavs number 1, past 5. They're starting to play, man. They barely winning games, but they have been playing. The Celtics got another game with the Raptors again tomorrow. They get Smart back tonight, which I think hurts the offense, helps the defense. I was looking towards the under in this one, man. I hadn't made any plays yet, but I want to take the under in this spot, and I'm leaning towards the Cavs. I've been staying away from these dogs, man, but I do think this is a lot of points in this particular spot coming off that really good game versus the Raptors. Now you got to go and play them again tomorrow. It's the first game of back-to-back, little home and home kind of sort of little sandwich spot here with the Cavs. Do they really care about this one? I mean, I always say they come here win by 10-11. That's cool with them. They have to blow them out by 20 points. We'll see tonight. Any thoughts on this game, Jordan?
This is one that I think you might be on the right track with the under here. These early afternoon games are really tricky when it comes to totals and teams and whether or not they're going to be awake in the first 12 minutes of the game here. So it's really a spot. I've been looking at first quarter unders too. I might take a look at that later, but no official plays on this one for me just yet. But yeah, like I said, the early afternoon game combined with the Cavs being on the road, Boston's getting Smart back, helping their defense, man. I mean, yeah, the under may be the only play for this game. I wouldn't touch the sides, to be honest.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I hadn't. I'm not going to touch it. I'm just telling you guys that's the only way I'm leaning. Like I say, obviously the Celtics 15 points better than the Cavs, but like I say, the numbers don't always say whether the team will get up for that team. I mean, we know teams play down to their competition all the time. You could definitely see it here. We know when a big player is thrown back into the lineup, it can kind of mess up the flow of everything. Smart's coming back tonight. I definitely think that helps the defense, the offense. I don't know about you guys, but I don't really see Smart as a good offensive player, man. I mean, I know he's been a little bit better lately, but he's all defense, in my opinion, man. What you thinking, Junior?
Same thing as you guys. If there is a play to be made here, it would be the under. I kind of, sort of like the Cavs +4 in the first quarter. 4 is a tricky number in the first quarter. Most teams, I think the team with the biggest margins in terms of who loses by the most in the first quarter in the NBA, only 2 teams lose by more than 4 on average in the first quarter in the NBA, and that's Golden State and Atlanta. Only 1 team wins by more than an average of 4 in the first quarter, and that's the Bucks. It's a big number for anybody to cover. I think that coupled with the fact that Cleveland's looked a little bit better, I would be a little bit interested in that spot, but at the same time as that these words are coming out of my mouth, it feels like a bit of a reach. So I'd rather just stay away from this game.
Real
Exactly, and
quick,
that's real
do you think
tricky,
that
man.
Christmas
Real
hangover is
early
going to hurt
start
that?
there. 4 p.m. What you say, Jordan?
I was just going to say, do you think that Christmas hangover is going to hurt the Cavs +4 since they haven't played since what, like for 4 days, 3 days?
Exactly. I'll let you answer that, Junior. That was a question.
I actually don't even know what to think about that because there's a couple of these teams that haven't played since like Monday. I don't think the Cavs. I mean, listen, from the reports that we're getting, Bayline basically treats these guys like college kids, which is why they kind of started turning against him. So I'm gonna guess that probably not, because Bayline's probably had these guys practicing and whatnot for the last couple of days. He probably gave them like 6 hours off to go have a meal and probably had to come back and practice. You know.
Yeah, I mean, shit. The college kids, all of them super young. I mean, also, obviously, other than Tristan Thompson, Kevin Love, so like that, who if he finna be out the door, he don't really care. Everybody else going to meal plan stuff, and Love staying wherever he at. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a lot of young guys. Why you have to treat them like that? My whole thing is this one. I mean, obviously, I know Celtics much better. I love the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they just made me a lot of cash the other day, but you just got to look at the spot, man. Especially when I'm looking at all these teams, it's a real tricky card with all these teams. First game up back to back. You got the Raptors again tomorrow. We know they're gonna get up once again for that game. I mean, be perfectly honest, just don't see the Celtics getting up for the Cavs here. And if they don't, then I don't think that they'll blow them out, man. It's just the only way I'm looking. I probably won't put my money on it, but that's just the way I'm looking at the game, man. We'll see, but I definitely like this under here, man. Especially with an early start, man. I'm gonna have to get there with the under here. Let's go to the next game, man. We got OKC versus Charlotte. OKC just got bust up last night versus the Grizzlies, man. We know the Grizzlies ain't a bad team. OKC have been playing around lately, man. I don't know what they got going. The last game versus the Grizzlies, they got down and had to come back from down 24-26, man. So no Gallinari again tonight. He's gonna be out next 2 to 3 games. I mean, the Hornets gonna get PJ Washington back here. I'm pretty sure it's why the line moved down from 4.5 to 3. Not always good when you got a player come back. I mean, obviously the Hornets need him. I'm still not a big fan of the Hornets, me personally. They are at the house getting points. The Thunder, they're 5-0 ATS last 5 Friday games and 5-0 ATS in the second game of a back-to-back. You know what I'm saying? On 0 days rest. So we'll see in this. But I still think that the Thunder, if they come to play here, obviously, I mean, they don't want to dip below 500 in this spot. If they do, I mean, they 15-15 right now. If they take this L, gonna be below 500. The Hornets, they can be pesky here at the house, but I don't like the way the Thunder been playing lately. Like I said, I want to take them here, but I hate that Gallinari's out. He's still a big part of the offense, obviously, where it's the starting power forward, shooting forward. So whatever you want to call it, man, shit, it's positionless basketball, man. They need Gallinari. Simple. And it's just tough for me to bet them, especially on the road. They have been good on back-to-back, but it's just tough for me here. The Hornets, if you would say anything, I say that the teams that's been playing does bode a little bit well for them, other than the team that's, you know what I'm saying, fat and happy like Junior, probably, you know what I'm saying, hey, been eating, going leftover parties, all type of stuff. Man, it could be the Hornets here. What you thinking in this game, Junior? You think the Hornets they've eaten too much Christmas ham, turkey, and stuffing and all that?
Out there in North Carolina, I wouldn't be surprised. My mom's in North Carolina right now. Who knows? Probably eating that good southern, that nice soul food down there. You know what I mean? But
Right.
In all seriousness, I would have been interested in OKC plus the 4.5. But I don't like them in a spot where it's a one possession game at plus 2.5. Well, first of all, I'm pissed off because yesterday I took OKC before I heard that Gallinari was announced out. I had the over in that game, so that just got thrown down the drain. I'm staying away from this game, especially with PJ Washington come back, because, like you said, and something that we say on every episode, whenever an important player comes back into the lineup, there's an adjustment period for the guys who've been getting more minutes and the guys who've been taking more shots and so on and so forth, right? So he's by far their most efficient scorer. He's not their leading scorer, but he's the guy who gets buckets with minimal amounts of shots, as opposed to Graham and Rozier, who are volume scorers. So it should solidify their offense a little bit, but it's just too. I'm not going to say Oklahoma City is a bad team. I'm going to say it's two inconsistent teams. I prefer to stay away from this.
Exactly, and I think it's a damn good day for in playing as well, man. I can't say it's not a whole lot that I like pregame, man. Other than the under in the Celtics and Cavs spot, man. But you know what I'm saying? Hey, in play, come to see how these teams, which ones come to play. You get a better number shit on probably on both sides in game. I've done it plenty of times, man. So we get to this next game, man. We got the 76ers versus the Magic here, a spot where I was looking at initially. I was looking at it was going to be a look ahead spot for the 76ers here. Man, I don't know what our team got going on today, man. I don't know what's going on. What's up, Junior? We let you talk. We let you bring us into this game, then, Junior.
Yeah, I tried to grab a coffee thinking it was you. Yeah, it's still me.
No,
no, we back.
You
back,
in, Junior. The 76ers versus Magic.
What do I think about this game? I got 76ers first half and full game. Couple different reasons here. I think that if you look ahead, I don't have the 76ers schedule in front of me. Sorry, guys. Let me just pull that up real quick. If you look at the 76ers schedule, they're on a 4-game road trip, and I know this is by far the most winnable game of those 4 games. Oh, yeah, so here we go. They start this 4-game road trip where they go Orlando, Miami, Pacers, Rockets. That's a tough road trip. And even when they come back home to OKC, Boston. Then they're back on the road to Dallas, Pacers. The point I'm trying to make is they got to get this whole thing started off on the right foot. And I think that the momentum from the Milwaukee game, even though, I had mentioned yesterday that it's not realistic to expect the Sixers to hit 21 threes in a game, even though they do shoot a high percentage, they don't make a high volume of threes because of just the way that they play. I think that in this game specifically, they already know that against this Magic team, if they come out with anything less than a proper effort here, the Magic are going to hang around. These defensive teams, they tend to hang around. If the Magic are one of those teams where if they're even just decent offensively, you're going to have a rough game, right? On the Sixers side of the ball, the same reasons that I thought that they might be able to slow down Milwaukee are all of the reasons why I think that Orlando will have a really tough time scoring in this game, which is why I took them both in first half and full game. Everything that the Magic do well offensively, you name it, the Sixers can stop it. They have multiple guys that can stop Orlando's best players, and I don't think that's the case going the other way. Vucevic and Mo Bamba are no match for Joel Embiid, so I'm rolling with the Sixers and this newfound momentum that they got from that Christmas Day win. They're already talking about Embiid's talking about people forgot how good I was and all types of foolishness. Cool. Show me that tonight. I want to see it. Let's go.
Yeah, Mo Bamba is out as well. That's another thing. They're missing
Even
one
better.
of the bigs off the bench. So I mean, that's not good if you like the Magic. The Magic have beaten the Sixers the past couple of times. Obviously they already played early this year. The Magic smacked them up by 15 points. I think they were sitting in Embiid in this spot of Horford one of those. They're 1-4 ATS last 5 versus Orlando. Like I said initially, I was looking at 76ers look ahead spot, but I mean because they do have the Heat again tomorrow. Obviously no Mo Bamba with the with with the Magic there. It'll be interesting to see. And then like you say that they already lost to the Magic this year, so they definitely gonna want to come in here and show like, hold on now, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't better than us. Don't hold on now, slow your roll. You already beat us once, but we still a better team. So it'll be interesting to see if they have a letdown spot or a look ahead spot because that's what I was looking at, a little sandwich, but the fact they already lost to them, then they come in here and like, nah, we can't lose this one. Like I said, it wasn't in full goal last time. What you got on this one, Jordan?
Yeah, I want to touch on something y'all both were talking about. I think the Bamba injury is a little bit undervalued here simply because he's a really good defender. He's a better defender than their starting center, Vucevic. And I think now you're going from him to Khem Birch when the Sixers are going to have Embiid or Horford in the game basically at all times. I think that's a big downgrade defensively for their second unit. And I think that could lead to a little more points in this one given up by the Magic, even though they are really good defensively. But I think we may be overvaluing Philly's defense here on the road just a little bit, especially in the first half. They rank in the bottom half of the league in first half defense on the road, giving up almost 111 points per 100 possessions in those spots. I think they're going to look at this game and think, okay, we know we can beat this team with our offense, even though they're a good defensive team. But the way we do it is we're going to push the pace early on and force them to play from behind, because you got the Magic playing from behind at home. They're going to be forced to play at a pace that they're not comfortable with, and they're going to have to start shooting more threes. And I think that plays right into Philly's hands. So I do actually think Junior's on the right track here with Philly first half and full game. But I think at least in the first half of this one, this total is so low at 102 points. I mean, if Philly, who's averaging like 60 points per first half almost in their last 5, if Philly can get out and start, hitting those threes like they were on Christmas, maybe not to that extent, but still shooting 35 to 40% from beyond the arc here early, I think there's a very good chance that they get up in the upper 50s in this one. And I think Orlando can probably score on this Philly first half defense, which has been, like I said, a little bit below average this year. So I got the first half over on this one, 102. I might end up jumping on that Philly first half of the line, though, too, because that was another one that was pretty interested in. I think that's just a great price against a team that is probably a little bit overvalued here at home.
Exactly. I'm going to tell you, my first look on it, I was thinking about the under. I want to take the under in this one. I know the 76ers, they did look good offensively. More importantly to me, they flexed their muscle defensively. They showed what they could do, on the defensive side of the ball. And when I still look at the Magic, I still see them as a good defensive team. They locked down on the Bulls the last game to pull away in the fourth quarter. I'm talking about clamp down, like for real. And we know the Bulls been playing well lately. Both teams bottom 10 pace last 10. Like I say, that's the one thing. It is a super low total. The way especially I was thinking the 76ers want to work on their defense tonight, come in here and lock down. They got the 70s, got the Heat tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And we want to slow this game down, muster it up. That's the way I'm looking at it. Some tells me that this one's gonna be a defensive type game. I mean, and that's a low total in the first half. Like I said, I'm not looking at the first half total, just full game. I'm just thinking at some point this game is gonna slow down. And I see that somebody in the chat was saying about Fultz was going to go out. Yeah, obviously, it's another revenge game for him. And so in the last game, Embiid didn't play for 76 when they lost by 15 versus Orlando. So, I mean, obviously, it's going to be interesting to see here in this one. First game of back-to-back for him versus the Heat. Both teams played there. Like that, I find that super interesting because you never know, especially with the 76ers. They rest. I mean, that means that if everybody gonna play today, they don't really care about the game tomorrow because you know how they do with Horford and Embiid. You know what I'm saying? We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm definitely staying away from this side because the 76ers could come in here in the revenge game, flex their muscle, but I definitely think that's gonna hurt them tomorrow in Miami. Real tricky cap. Some tells me it's gonna be that they're gonna 76ers going to try to flex their defensive muscle. Let's get to the next game, man. We got the Bucks coming off their loss to those same 76ers. They land 11.5, 12 here on the road versus Atlanta. They got John Collins back. Atlanta's going to be out in this one. What you thinking in this spot, Jordan? You got to play on the total in this game. We're going with the over in this one.
No. I don't think if there's one side on the total, this one it's absolutely the under, and I think that the Lin injury is a little bit underrated just because now they'll have to play Bruno Fernando a little bit more, and he's more of a defender. With John Collins back, they have a much more versatile defensive front court than they did without him. I mean, we talked about that numerous times over this whole season. So I mean that total's so high. I play the numbers. I don't really play the two matchup teams. I look at the numbers and then I kind of run, what they are offensively and defensively, and then look at that kind of neutrally before I look at any injuries or anything like that. And if you just look at this game, with the way the Hawks are playing with John Collins, which is obviously a very small sample size this season, but they are much better with him in the lineup than they are without him. So I think if there is be under away from it. I think this is probably my least favorite game of the day, but I'll give you that one as an official lean for the day because it's already steamed down a point. I could see it going down a little bit further too. The Bucks are the way they win this game is not get up to a pace game on the road with Atlanta. They're going to win by clamping down on defense and shutting down basically everybody they can outside of Trae Young and letting him go for 30 and then holding everybody else to about only 40, 50 points and winning the game.
Yeah, we know the Bucks are a lot better than the Hawks. I'm talking about light years better than them. We know how the Bucks are off of a loss. They 6-1 ATS last 7 on 1 day rest. 7-1 ATS last 8 of a loss of more than 10 points. So I mean, just off a loss period. We know the Bucks come to play in the next game. I don't like the fact that it's on the road though. I mean, I don't know. I'm staying away from this game, man. We these teams played 2 times already this year. The Hawks are 4-0 ATS the past 4 versus the Bucks, man. I'm staying away from it. So, I mean, because obviously Bucks can come out here pissed off. The Hawks seem like they know how to play them a little bit. I mean, the Hawks been terrible this year. They covered two times already this year. One time in Milwaukee, and I mean they was getting 11 in Milwaukee. Covered that one. Only lost by 8. Then they no they the game in Milwaukee they lost by 9. They was getting 14 and a half in that one. At the house they was getting 11. Only lost by 8. And I was on them in that game. It was a little comeback in the fourth quarter, but hey, we still cashed that ticket. Let's say 4-0 last four versus the ATS versus the Bucks. I'm just saying, man, those are the trends, man. Those are the trends. What you thinking in this game, Junior?
I stayed off this game for more of a personal reason. The two tickets that I've been cashing the most all season has been a Heat first half and Bucks first half at home. I tend to take the Bucks first half almost anywhere they are, but I feel like sometimes you just don't want to overdo it. They can't win every single first half, obviously. I already have the Heat first half today, so it was like one or the other. The Bucks are on the road, and something that you mentioned, the Hawks have kind of hung around with the Bucks in both games, and that was without John Collins. Now that John Collins is in the lineup, I know that he's still a guy with more potential than actual production so far in his career. But if you just look at his style of play, John Collins is one of those dudes that. I know this is going to be kind of an ambiguous play. If you guys saw the first game between the Hawks and the Sixers, there was a play where Joel Embiid catches the ball on the wing, he pump fakes, takes 2 dribbles, and throws down one of the nastiest dunks that you'll ever see on John Collins. But here's the point. John Collins was ready. He was standing under the rim, and he did not back down from Joel Embiid. Like, he's the type of guy that he'll take on any challenge. He's going to get all up in Giannis. Again, I know he's not going to stop Giannis. I get it. But the fact that they've hung around and been frisky without him, I think that with him in the lineup, there's a very, very big chance that they can hang around again. I just didn't want to test those waters. It's a lot of points on the road. For me, it's just I just kind of want to stay away from this one.
He said, I just really want to test those waters.
Yeah, bro.
In front of the Bucks, man. I mean, you step in front of them last game, you got the cash. You know what I'm saying? This one, they're gonna come in pissed off. I mean, they just got their ass whipped on embarrassed pretty much on Nash TV. I mean, Giannis had a terrible game. You don't want to see that look in his eye tonight, even though the Hawks kept it close with him. And that's why it's so conflicting to me. I mean, they showed that they can match up well with the Hawks, like you say, even without John Collins. And now you got Giannis coming here pissed. And if he had that LeBron playoff type look, the boys winning by 20 with ease. So we'll see. It's first game back-to-back as well for the Bucks. A lot of tricky Cavs, man. I mean, they going back to the house. They're going down to Atlanta. I mean, you're coming off the terrible loss, obviously, on Christmas. Now you're going down to Atlanta, and then you got a game tomorrow. You're going back to the house tomorrow and play the Magic. So, yeah, take it into account, man. First game back to back, man. Team come out there like they don't really give a damn or win by 5 points or something. Y'all, hey, it'll be back in your mind. Let's get to this next game, man. We got a big one. We got the Pacers versus the Heat. He was saying, if Brogdon, man, Brogdon playing, man. He probably could have played the last game, man. This bullshit, sit him out. Look, man, I could go out. That's a whole nother show there. There was some bullshit there versus the Wizards. But, yeah, come on, Jordan. What you got on this game? Come on, you know Brogdon coming back, man. Just need a little extra rest before his hammy. Come on, man. Eat some ham and get right, bro. They're going to play the Heat tonight. Heat last game versus Jazz. Let them boys stick with them. We know the Pacers are on a pushover. They are much better at the house. Much better at the house. Last time they was on the road, took the L versus the Bucks. It's only their second road game in 6 games, and only their third in 9 games. So I mean, they went to Atlanta before that and smacked them up. They were 5-0 ATS before they lost versus the Bucks, and 0-2 dropped 2 straight ATS. It'll be interesting to see if the Pacers can keep close with the Heat here, who've been steamrolling teams here at the house. So with they 14-1 at the house, only 1 loss. So I mean, they've looked a little bit vulnerable sometimes at the house against lesser opponents, but they're gonna get up to play the Pacers, man. It's gonna be another playoff type game. What you thinking, Mike? Indiana guy? What you got, Jordan?
Yeah, this one's tricky because of Brogdon. If he's out, I think Junior is probably going to have a really good play, especially if Brogdon's out, because I don't think they're going to be able to hang with the Heat first half in this one, just simply because that Brogdon, without him, their offense just does not flow as well. And defensively, it's a big downgrade going to like 5'11" Aaron Holiday. As good as Aaron Holiday is on the offensive end of the court, he's just pretty tiny to guard, a guy like Kendrick Nunn, who's been absolutely a beast in guys lately. So that scares me a little bit. it. If Brogdon's in, though, I really like the overs in this one. It's starting to steam that way, so I may have to grab it before I get some Brogdon news, because I think this total is just too low for what the pace of these two teams are going to be played, especially in the first half of this one. 108 right now. You're looking at the Heat, who, as we've talked about all year, is the best first half home offensive rating in the entire league. They're scoring well over 60 points per first half at home. And Indiana's defense is just not as good on the road as most teams are, but it's actually a really substantial drop off of at least 3 or 4 points. You combine all those things, and they could be without Brogdon, who's kind of their leader on the defensive end of the floor, kind of gets them where they need to go. That's bad news for Indiana if he's out. But I think the over might be a good play regardless here, simply because I think the pace is being undervalued here of what these two teams play in the first half. If it's a higher scoring first half, the Heat are knocking down shots, and it leads to the over being a good game, good play in the full game as well. I would not be surprised at all. So I'm kind of waiting on that Brogdon news. As soon as I hear about that, I'm going to make a move one way or the other on this one. So I'm interested to see what Junior has to say about the Heat, though, in the first half here, because I think that he may be on that regardless of if Brogdon's in or out.
I think that I think me personally, and I'm not in India. I think there's no way in hell that Brogdon is not going to play in this. But obviously, he rested the last game. It was a second game of back to back. You know what I'm saying? And then I mean, obviously, like Jordan said, he probably just wanted to get him extra rest on this little on this. They had 3 days off, so he's had 4 days off. You know, so I think with that line going from 5 to 4, I think Brogdon's playing this point. I think there's no way in hell, man. And you know how it is when he's announced in, it's probably gonna be some limo. And if he's announced out, it's gonna go up to probably the Heat -6. But I don't see it here, man. Even if he rests tomorrow, he gonna play today, man. But like I say, first game of back to back for both teams. Pacers play in New Orleans tomorrow. The Heat they play. It's still a home game, another home game for them. But they play the 76ers. We know it's still gonna be a big one. They tied 1-1 on the series this year. Still gonna be a big game. Be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting to see. I just think these teams gonna work on their defense tonight, man. That's what I think, man. What you thinking, Junior? But no official play for me, man. So I don't want to talk nobody off their shit. But I can understand why it went down from 213.5 to 212. What you thinking, Junior?
I was only going to take the Heat first half originally until I saw that Brogdon is still questionable. Whatever it is, it has to be something. Whether we think it's serious or not, you're not going to miss a game and then still be questionable for the next game, and it's nothing. I think that something that Jordan, who's a numbers guy, and myself, who just blindly been playing the Heat almost all season, have realized is that at home they just smack teams around, especially in the first half. I just think that the reason I jumped on the full game on top of the first half, which is a pretty good number, the first half I got it at a really good price. The reason I jumped on the total is that without Malcolm Brogdon, I feel like the Pacers' offense in the fourth quarter goes from more of a pick and roll to more of like one-on-one basketball. And they got some guys who can score, especially guys like T.J. Warren, Jeremy Lamb, who are good one-on-one players. But I think with Brogdon out there, they seem to have more structured late game, whereas the Heat, what the Heat are going to do is set in stone. It almost doesn't even seem to matter who's out there for them. They always run their set plays. They always get the stuff that they want, the looks that they want, and they have so many interchangeable pieces. You just don't know who's going to step up on any given night. I say all of that to say -4 on the Heat, in my opinion, at home is a really cheap price.
I know what he's talking. I know what you're yelling at, Jay.
I hate to cut you off, but Giannis is doubtful tonight. Giannis is doubtful tonight. I had to.
Thank God I stayed away from that.
I had to. That shit's crazy.
No, that deserves for me to be cut off. That's big news.
Yeah. Because I got shit on my phone coming up. Guys slamming, people slamming the Hawks right now, plus 11.5, plus 12. Why they can still get it? Obviously, it's going to go down probably 9.5 or something. Man, we'll see. Doesn't mean that the Hawks are locked though. I mean, shit. I mean, the Bucks they didn't prove they're a very deep team. But obviously, Young. I mean, that's shit. Best player in the league. That's a big damn deal. It's a big deal. I had to cut you off. I'm sorry, man. But I just one thing I had to say, man. You guys can't argue that. I mean, matchup wise. Especially if Brogdon's in there, you guys got to understand the Pacers match up really well versus the Heat. Y'all have to understand, and we know that Heat. I mean, as good as they are, if those threes are not going down for Nunn and Hero, Duncan Robinson, them threes ain't going down. that's when we're seeing the Heat struggle, man. That's the only thing that I'm saying. And the Pacers, you look at their squad, look at the matchups. I mean, the Heat got young guards out there other than Butler. The Pacers got veterans out there. I mean, they got some ballers. I think if Brogdon is in, man, I think that's a huge add. I don't think there's no way he's going to miss it. It's the first time these two teams have played this year. I think they care way more about this game than the Pelicans tomorrow. Could be a letdown for them tomorrow, but I think the Pacers going to get it. The only thing I see that he have going for him here, I'm not going to say the only thing, but I think the huge edge is that they're at the house. Obviously, 14-1 at the house, huge home court edge. Didn't matter last game versus Jazz. The Pacers, I think they're a better offensive team than the Jazz are. The defense, I think it's a wash. I think they're a damn good defense team. I'm liking your team more than you, Jordan. I'm not forcing to play on it, but I'm telling you guys, only way I'm looking at it is taking the points in this game. I can see this one coming down to the last possession, and I think the Pacers, if Brogdon's in, I think the Pacers match up really well with the Heat, man. That's the only thing I'm gonna say. I'm gonna let you finish.
There's something that I didn't mention to you. So the Pacers in the last 10 games are 7-3, so they're actually playing really well. But in that span, they played 4 home games, and they're ranked 29th in offensive efficiency on the road in that span. So that's another thing that I was looking at in terms of the numbers when I made this play.
Yeah, and they had players in and out the line, but you're right. You are right. I mean, obviously they're gonna look a lot different on the road. Lamb was out, part of that. Brogdon out as well. I'll just say if they had full squad today, man, I think I'm gonna have to hop on the Pacers here, man. I just like them. I like the matchup here. He could come out here and smack them. If they do, I'll bet against them tomorrow. I'll definitely tell you that. If the Heat come out, it's gonna be a lot of situational spots for tomorrow. And me and Junior break it down tomorrow. Y'all come back and holler at us again tomorrow. I'm gonna have plenty of situational shit for tomorrow. That's why I'm just kind of just sitting back, chilling today, man. See how everything plays out. Because a lot of times in the NBA, it's all really about the spot, man. And now we're getting to that spot of the season where we're getting to it, and that's why I've been cashing these tickets, man. That's why it's spot like the Pistons yesterday. Numbers don't say take the Pistons. They went out there and smacked them by 30 though with ease. It was all about the spot, man. Let's get to this Suns and Golden State game, man. It's another conflicting one. The Warriors, they look damn like the old Warriors, don't they? Boys balling late. Yeah, they want to beat the Rockets. Oh, I mean, I got to give them respect for that, man. I do think it's going to be a huge letdown for them, but you got to give them respect for beating the Rockets, especially the way they did. Harden didn't seem like he cared whatsoever. Aiden going to be out for the Suns. I don't think that really hurts him. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's going to hurt him from a defensive standpoint, but I mean, he had a little ankle injury, wasn't 100%. Looney going to be out. They might not even have his Pascal tonight. I think that's going to be big for the Warriors. I think they need full squad tonight. Suns don't look the same whatsoever, man. Obviously, you got to pump the brakes. No, last game it did versus the Nuggets. They damn near beat them. Damn near beat the Nuggets straight up. Was at the house, but they already smacked the Warriors this year. I think they was 42-13 or 41-13 at the end of the first quarter. Steph Curry was in that game, man. I know that was a different Suns team, but I can't ignore that. This Warriors team still isn't great. They won 3 straight at the house. I'm still not a buyer in them. And if, top to bottom, y'all know Rubio in, Baines in. This Suns team with Booker, this Suns team is still better than the Warriors team. And I can only look towards the Suns here. And I understand why people like the Warriors say, if you like the Warriors, take them on the money line, man. Get you some plus money. I think the Suns favored for a reason in this game. I think it's a get right spot. They hadn't necessarily just showed quit. They haven't been getting blown out in these last 7-8 games. They've been playing teams close, man. If they play the way it did versus Nuggets, man, they'll win this game handily, I think. What you thinking, Jordan?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hate to disagree with my guy Jay Money, man, but I am on the opposite side of this one. I don't think that I think the Suns are absolutely regressing back to the mean, man. We talked about this at the beginning of the year. We said they were overplaying their squad, and look what's happened over the last month. I mean, just look at their road games. And I think that's why I think it's the big thing that you may be overlooking in this one is that the Suns have been absolutely atrocious. Gotten beat down by OKC and the Clippers. Got beat by Houston. Barely beat New Orleans. Got whooped by Orlando. I mean, like that's basically been their month of December on the road. And I mean, this Warriors team's starting to play better. They're the better coach team. They think they're going to be the more disciplined team. They have more veteran leadership. I just think the Suns coming off that Christmas layover, man. I'm fading them here. I think that the Warriors plus the points here actually is a pretty good play tonight. I locked them in at 3. I think they they can play up in pace with the Suns. They can slow them down if they want to. I'm a little worried about their defense tonight. I think that's to be the one area, if I do lose this play, where the Suns get hot from beyond the arc and the Warriors defense just isn't playing up to snuff. But they've been playing better. I'm going to ride the hotter team here. I'm going to fade the team that's lost their last 7 in a row straight up. So I got Warriors plus the points at home.
I can understand it, and I mean, it's definitely a head scratcher. Team that lost 7 in a row versus a team that's won 3 straight, and then they're favored on the road. It's definitely a head scratcher, man. Definitely. So my guy Jordan thinks the Warriors are back, man. My guy for the tanking.
No, don't put that in my mouth.
Got 8 wins on the year.
They're not back,
and don't have any bright future. And my guy here is one of the fans of one of these teams that I think should be tanking. We'll see, man. Like I say, if the Suns lose this game, I mean, yeah, they really are. You know what I'm saying? Like back to the OG Suns. If Booker out there playing, who gonna stop? Who? I mean, they just beat the Pelicans. They beat the Timberwolves, and they got up for a huge game on the Warriors. Huge. Played their best game of the season, probably, you could argue. Yeah. I don't think they can play much better than that. I don't think they can duplicate it 2 games in a row, quite frankly, man. That's just the way I'm looking at it. I think the books got the boys' favor over there for a reason, man. That's the only thing I'm saying. It'll see, man. If the Warriors come out here and do it, like I said, you like the Warriors, take on the money line. You think they're going to win. If the Suns win this game, man, it ain't going to be close, man. What you thinking, Junior? You on the Warriors, too? You back on the bandwagon over there?
I tell you what, if I get the Warriors at 3.5, I would take that before I lay 3.5 on the Suns. If that's the question I'm being asked, I don't like anything about the Suns right now, because when I look at the matchup, I think to myself, who's going to stop Booker? I think Oubre could get all up in D'Angelo Russell if that's what they just chose to do from the Suns' point of view. But I just need to see the Suns play a little bit more consistent, and obviously losing 7 games in a row, I haven't seen that in a month? Like, they've been bad for a minute now. So if I had a free play, because he's certainly not going to get any of my money in this game. If I had a free play, I would probably put that free play on Golden State, but I would have to get them with the hook. I need them to be taking more. Like, I don't like a 1-possession game for Golden State. I need it to be 3.5, 4 if I were to look. If it's 3 or less, Phoenix. If it's 3.5 or more, Golden State, which is my roundabout way of saying, do not touch this garbage ass game, guys. Please stay away from this shit.
I mean, I gotta be straight up, Junior. I'm sorry. I feel like if you like Golden State, you think they're gonna win. They just beat Houston, right? It's gonna be easy. They just beat the Houston Rockets with everybody out there playing by 12 points at the house on Christmas Day. It's gonna be easy, right? What do you need the 3 points for? What I'm saying.
I need him.
If you think I don't think it's gonna be a close game either way. Either the Warriors gonna come out and smack them and continue to play like they did. Like I said, just beat the Rockets. It's gonna be too easy tonight. Warriors on the money line, easy. Why the Suns here favored? Why the hell are they favoring? They just lost 7 games in a row. Why they favored on the road? I just want to ask that one question to you, Jordan.
I mean, they're on paper the better team, but I think sometimes you have to not just look at the whole season. You have to look at what they've done for me lately. And what these 2 teams have done for you lately, I mean, it is where the head scratcher is. I agree. It does seem a little fishy of why they are favored, but I'm just not overthinking it. If I lose, I lose. Like, I mean, it's just, I'm not like unloading on it by any means. But like I said, like, I just think that you play this game 100 times in the same circumstances that we're in now. I think that the Warriors win it, 55, 60 times. And that's good enough at the current odds to take advantage of that. If I'm getting, them at the current price, and I think they're a little bit better than that, that's what this game's all about. So I to answer your question, that didn't answer your question, but to answer your question, the Suns are just better on paper, and Oubre and Booker are better pretty much than anything the Warriors are going to throw at them. So the Suns have the best 2 players in the game right now with the Warriors injury. That's all it is. I think D'Angelo Russell is a solid 3rd when it comes to that. So talent alone, it's the Suns here on paper. That's why they're favored, I think.
Hey, Jay Money, another thing I want to throw out just for the Warriors case, they've been playing a lot better defense lately.
I just want to say one quick thing that it kind of reminds me of a game earlier versus the Knicks versus the Wizards versus 2 teams that was kind of, both of them head down, even though the Warriors have won 3 straight games. If they're not trying to save their season, and Jordan brought this to my attention, if they're not trying to save their season, Why win this type of game? You'll get up to fate. You see the Knicks yesterday. They didn't care. They pissed the game away versus the Wizards, but then the game versus the Nets, which meant a lot to them, we're going to get up to that. Or we don't bother winning that one, but against another lower tier team, it would mean more if we won in this one. I think this is a spot where the Warriors don't want to win. It's just that simple. And it's just the way I'm looking at it. Like I say, I probably am going to stay out, but I do like the Suns in this spot, man. I'll let y'all know if I get there. But I think this is another prime case where I think their team is favored for a reason, and there's no way in hell that the books would have them favored 2.5 to 3. It was down to 2.5 back up to 3. They know they lost 7 games in a row. On paper, lately, the Warriors look better, and they're not the favorite. Like I say, it could be one where they piss away, man. That's the only thing that I'm saying. And Jordan was the one that brought it to my attention. You look at the records, why would the Warriors want to kind of even things up right here, man? I think they should let the Suns get up. Oh, y'all get up. We just playing for draft picks. Curry, Thompson, y'all could be on the bench. We just going to sit y'all. They aggravated their injury in practice. They out for the rest of the year, man. Just some bullshit like that. Y'all go over go over your official plays, Jordan, before we get out of here.
Yeah, I got Golden State plus the 3. If Brogdon's out, I'm probably going to jump on the overs in that Indiana-Miami game, and then I got over 102 over 102 in Philly and Orlando in the first half today.
Exactly, I like it. What you got, my guy, Junior?
I got Philly first half -1, Philly full game -2.5, Heat first half -2.5, Heat full game -4.5.
I like it, man. Like I say, no official plays for me right now, man. I don't want to talk anybody out of their plays, man. But I was liking the Suns, especially at the 2.5. It's up to 3 now. If Brogdon's in, I like the Pacers as well, man. I think he's going to play. I think that if you like the Pacers, you might want to get him now because it's probably going to go down to 3 once he's announced in. Be interesting to see. I've definitely got to look even more deeper into this Hawks game now, man, especially with no Giannis. And they played them well. Got to see what this number moved to. I'll be perfectly honest. If I want the 12, I could probably go and get it right now. But before 2:00, man, my books, he gonna leave it up, man. I could go and smash him right now if I want it. I might have to head over there in a sec, man. Philly and Orlando, I'm leaning towards the under in there one, man. I think the 76 got to lean on our defense. Won't want to run a gun with the Magic Night. Magic cool with slowing it down as well. They cool with that. Sixers big game tomorrow versus the Heat, man. Be interesting to see if it's a look ahead. Stand away from OKC and Charlotte, man. No Gallinari. OKC should bounce back though. They much better than the Hornets. Be interesting to see if Hornets come out there sleepy early game. I'm liking the under. Total going up, man. I might have to get on the under on this Cavs and Boston. It's crazy. Cavs actually are a bigger team down low with Thompson down there on them boards. That's why they've been getting them boards versus the Celtics. It'll be interesting to see, man. I think there's too many points for the Celtics, man. Y'all know what's up. We're gonna try to get to the money. I said I wasn't gonna bet from nothing today, gonna force nothing. I talk myself into some shit, man. Let's get some cash. We're gonna pick up plenty of cash today, man. Hey, Los Bookmaker.